Congratulations to all of the women of the world and beyond. um, there has been a massive leap forward for womankind.
Yeah.
And please, I'll hand over the
Thank
floor.
you. Yes. I've never been more inspired and connected and all the other things that she said. And I've never believed more in a conspiracy theory.
Do you believe in the conspiracy theory?
No, I've definitely believed in other conspiracy theories more, but it is fishy to me, honestly.
I just think it's like unimpressive and lame.
That's probably more accurate. It's like they didn't really go to like space.
They went into like low orbit,
Yeah.
like outside technically what we consider to be the Earth's
Right.
atmosphere. But there's levels of this stuff. They did not go to the moon,
Yeah.
as it were. Do you mind if I click down a little bit and get
No,
into
yeah.
just in case anybody has missed these big headlines? By the way, don't let anybody ever tell you this show's not topical. We're coming at this only like a week and a half late.
We needed time to let it marinate.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Kind of see what if the going line aligned with ours. So Katy Perry, one of our foremost cultural icons, women really look up to her.
Yeah.
They look to her for
They look at her.
guidance. They look at her. Gail King here seen interviewing. Oh, that's Diddy. Oh, sorry. Here, let me get a different picture.
Oh.
No, it's another picture here. Let me find it.
Oh.
Dang it.
Wow.
Okay, I guess all of my
okay.
pictures of her I had in here were just her with Diddy.
Oh, man. I didn't realize they were tight like that.
I guess I didn't really realize that either. Also went up there. Also, this woman, Lauren Sanchez, who
She went up there?
I learned about her an hour ago.
Okay.
This is Jeff Bezos' girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seen here looking normal.
Looking so normal. Like, low-key, she looks like she's going to go to space.
She looks like she's been waiting for her coffee for a little too long. She's not very happy with the barista.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And if anybody's unfamiliar with Jeff Bezos, he's the guy who famously ate this iguana.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a real picture.
Ugh.
So these funded all by this beautiful man, you know, a cultural leader, a business leader.
Money makes you do insane things.
Yeah.
It makes you eat lizards and send your girlfriend to space.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It makes you do the same sort of things that you think about doing when you were 5.
You thought about
Eating lizards and
that
sending
what you
your
thought
girlfriend to space.
Did you think about eating lizards when you were 5?
No, not me necessarily, but a
Yeah.
5-year-old might think about
yeah.
eating a lizard and
That's
sending their
true.
how to eat fried worms.
So true.
Yeah, so,
yeah.
So they were able to assemble a voyage of women.
I'm sorry. This picture, it's haunting.
Yeah.
Is this like the picture in its original form? Like this
Yeah.
lighting and in the
Yeah.
black background? Like what is
Yeah, this is like
happening?
from like GQ or one of those things or something or
Okay.
some. Yeah.
Crazy. I'd rather look at his girlfriend, honestly.
Okay.
I'm inspired again.
So, yeah, Emily, you spoke a little bit about what this means to you, but we wanted to take this opportunity to dive into the cosmos since space is
Yeah.
now back on everyone's mind. Space seems to be on people's minds whenever the government pretends something interesting is going on in space, right? When they're about to like give a big tax cut or something like that. And then whenever anything actually does happen, like one of Elon Musk's rockets blows up, or a different rocket blows up, or we get like word that something's wrong with one of our satellites or something. But space it's huge. It's out there, and we've talked about stuff pretty much exclusive to Earth
That's true.
so far, and America even more. And we haven't really broadened our horizons. So this week we're looking to do that. So you've really set us up here.
Yeah, I found some poems about space.
Okay. I'm sure there are tons.
Yeah, and I also, as I was looking, I tried to find some that don't break the rule about writing about the moon.
Oh, nice.
They're kind
I
of just
appreciate
about
that.
space.
Yeah, because there's way more to space than the moon. There's
is.
way more to space than any one thing. It's so expansive.
It's huge.
It's so big.
It's we can't even imagine how big it is. And guess what?
What?
It's getting bigger.
It's getting bigger.
It's expanding all the time.
Yeah. Probably running away from me and my personality.
Oh, okay. So this is a poem about space. Would you like me to read it?
I would love you to read it.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm gonna
thank
pull
you.
it up on my phone because it's kind of small on there.
No worries. Yeah, it's very tiny.
Unlike space.
Yeah, this is in a way. Well, it depends on how big you make the picture because it's a long poem. So in that way, it is.
So I found this on Reddit. It's a poem about space. Hope y'all enjoy it. The user has deleted their account since they posted this.
Gone, so we don't need to credit anybody.
Yeah. This poem is entitled A Box of Uncertainty. It's empty, but it's full. It's dark, but it's bright. It is deadly, and it is safe. It is ugly, and it is pretty. All in one, one in all. Its beauty speckles its body. Throughout, there are many dangers, which one must be aware. Stay away from strangers, and don't stray from your holy lair. Though if you fail to follow, death might come soon. But explore the world with all your strength, its wondrous lands and its beautiful space. The many planets and stars all moving about close and far. The giant heat within a star can vaporize any who comes hither. Come upon a black hole and you will wither. Because with any dark force, all will shiver. But with all dark forces...
They weren't doing end rhyme this whole time. No. Sorry to interrupt.
But with all dark forces, there's always a good side.
Okay.
Because
it was the good side of the Nazis.
Okay.
Buddy.
Because when...
Answer me that one.
Because when planets come in, we might have a good time.
Why you got it?
Uncertainty with every box laying in each rock. And so here I bring it to you, a beautiful and ugly place, an empty and full place, and a dangerous and safe place, space, and the universe. Home for us, home for all.
Okay, what is the deal with the boxes?
I have no idea.
I would like to reject two claims made here.
Yeah.
That space is ugly.
Yeah.
Like it's either like boring to you or really pretty or interesting. And the other one is that space is safe.
Space is certainly not safe.
It's so, and I need to credit, this is something that's like rang in my head for forever, but Will Menaker one time said, like, when talking about like Elon Musk and all the people who want to go to Mars, being like, I cannot emphasize enough, space is unbelievably inhospitable to human life. If you go outside for like 1 second, you die immediately.
It's so not safe. Yeah.
It's incredibly unsafe.
I really like they take some real like twists and turns with this poem.
Yeah.
And they kind of zoom in and out because it's like I'm talking about space and then all of a sudden it's like enjoy the planet and its space.
Yeah.
Like a real quick zoom in and then right back out to outer space. I have no idea what the box is about.
I like his concept of a box because at first you're like the box is the universe because the universe is hypothetically contained, right? And like started off smaller and is now expanding outward. And so it's like when he first mentioned a box, which is really up front, right?
It's the title, A Box of Uncertainty.
Right, thank you. But then he references multiple boxes?
No, the box only comes in towards the end when he says...
But he says uncertainty with every box.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you take away from this? Space is just so crazy. It's a land of contradiction.
That is, what I get from the first part. Mostly I like about shivering.
I love the shivers, withers. I like when he decides to start rhyming.
Yeah, 3 in a row and then just like moving on.
Nice.
I honestly take most of what I take away from this is the form and not the actual poem.
Yeah, the form is really interesting. This is what I would definitely call an unconventional structure.
Yeah.
Just looking at the shape of it.
Yeah.
You can see that
they should have
decisions were either made or completely not made.
They could have made it in the shape of a planet with a ring.
See, like the wine glass poem.
Exactly.
That would have been very cool.
Yes. So
mind if I jump down?
I have another poem.
Please.
This one is about Voyager 2.
Okay.
So that's the one that's out further out, like around Jupiter and Saturn and stuff.
In real life, not in Star Trek?
Yeah, in real life.
Okay.
This one's much shorter. A poem about Voyager 2. This is by Clams Have Feelings Too.
Okay.
Celestial Sense. I've had 43 years to think this through, but I never thought I'd be leaving you. It gets a little colder, I grow a little older at the rate I'm moving. Can I roll over? Can I turn around to say goodbye? Can I look at you one more time? I'm sorry, there's not punctuation that I'm putting in here.
Yeah.
Can I turn around to say goodbye? Can I look at you one more time? I've shown you things you've never seen, like big blue marbles and dusty rings. I don't know what will become of me. I'm so far from home, it's a job well done, just one last turn to see the sun into the void, the great unknown. Your voyage is finally finished, but mine has just begun.
Wow.
I thought, when I read this the first time, it was like I was flirting with being sad about it.
Oh.
You know, because it was like, I kind of wanted to feel sad, but then it just couldn't get me there.
It feels like it's I was wondering if at some point it was going to be like somehow this was like written from the perspective of an asteroid instead of a human, instead of using metaphors.
Oh, I think this is from the okay, the reason I was sad was because I thought it was from the perspective of Voyager 2.
Oh, duh. I'm so dumb. I forgot about the poem already. I completely just dismissed it out of my brain
But,
immediately.
I mean, it does say it's about Voyager 2.
Now, you did say you were avoiding punctuation, but you weren't necessarily hitting the capitalization.
Yeah.
So,
I guess
but did you realize what happens if you read every capital word?
No.
Please.
Okay. Celestial, but at can like just your butt.
Wow.
You had me going there. I really was like, I thought there was like another layer to this.
Can, just the your butt. Yeah, so I think there's a little hidden message in there for a little special somebody.
Yeah. Maybe for Voyager 2.
Maybe for Voyager 2.
Now, what do you think? At the rate I'm moving, can I roll over? What do you think they meant by that?
I don't know. It's like, I have no idea. I was like, do they need to do some sort of... I don't know. I'm gonna sound so stupid about like aeronautics if I try to like...
Oh, like they can't roll over if they're going...
Yeah.
slow.
Something like that. Or like it needs to... I don't know anything about Voyager 2. Mm-hmm. It's not a space station, so it's probably not... It doesn't have any sort of artificial gravity from like centrifugal force or anything.
It's like a
that.
Satellite that like takes pictures or data.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know.
Hey,
What?
have you ever seen a big blue marble?
Honey, we're living on one.
I love that line too. So these were two poems I found about space. This one had 22 comments, and I didn't
Wow.
look at any of them.
you let us down.
Before you move on, so
Yeah.
we found two poems about space, but we don't just talk about poetry. We also talk about photography.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to find a photo. So
Great.
now we can move on. Not just any photo. The most stunning photo of Mars the world has ever seen.
Really? And this is a ways back. This is in 2013.
This is 2012.
I'm sorry. This is 13 years ago. So I was trying to do the math.
Oh, okay, yeah. So up until that point, this was the most stunning photo of Mars that the world had ever seen.
Okay, I'm ready. Wow. Looks like shit. It's awful. What?
Stunning.
It's so boring.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It's like worse than a regular desert. And
Yeah.
it's like it's worse than just like in just Mars if it didn't have all the crap in the way.
Yeah,
It looks
totally.
like
It looks like a
boring
junkyard. We've littered on Mars. Like,
Don't you guys want to move?
Yeah.
Don't you want to move to this neighborhood?
I had a hard time figuring out the perspective of this because I'm like, is this tiny or is this huge?
I was just thinking that because if it's as big as it looks
like a cell
spaceship.
tower,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, definitely.
But I think it's small because I don't think we've put anything that big on Mars.
If I were to guess, the thing that this is in the forefront of is probably also what has the camera on it.
Yeah.
You know,
so,
like this is like from a rover or something like that.
Now imagine this is like the size of a big toe, and like this is the most stunning photo we have. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, you said this looks shitty.
Yeah, I don't think this is a very good photograph.
Well, this photo actually inspired another poem.
A third poem.
Yes.
You found 3 poems.
I found
is the next
three
poem
poems.
here?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So this is the name of the poem?
This is the name of the poem, and it was inspired, and he linked it to the photo I just showed you. Like,
okay.
He said, this photo inspired me. And what I really like, too, is if you'll notice, this was published on July 9th of 2012.
Wow.
The next day.
He works
like,
fast.
Yeah.
He was so inspired. Do you think he
Yeah.
got the photo leaked to him?
Maybe.
Said next day, you
Yeah.
better have something ready to
From
roll.
Mashable.com. They sent
Yeah.
it to this guy in advance. Moonwalker Wiz.
Moonwalker Wiz.
Well, I didn't post the poem on here because it's kind of
okay.
longer.
All right,
but
no
I
worries.
pulled it up and I thought you could read this one.
Sure, I'd love to. Thank you.
You're welcome. Here you go.
Thank you very much. It's quite obvious that Mars is our asshole. I mean, it's been with us for such a long time, but it was never possible to get a glimpse of it till recently. And even today, you have to go to drastic measures to use highly advanced technologies just to take a crappy snapshots of it. Oh, the gadgets and techniques you'll have to employ. It has mischievously poked mankind's collective fantasy for centuries, tickling it until we giggle with unearthly sensation. It's inserted itself in our highest works of art and our foulest films, a cosmopolitan cultural icon colonizing our consciousness. That's a lot of alliteration there. Colonizing.
Oh.
Wow. But in all its omnipresence, it's still a mystery. Really a mystery. Aside from the fact that it's red and bumpy. Gross, Emily. We don't really know anything about it. Well, there's also the fact that it's uninhabitable. They say it's full of carbon dioxide and other foul-smelling gases, noxious fumes that will make anyone's eyes pop out, like Arnold's in Total Recall. Love that illusion. But even though I'm no scientist, I can tell that there's life there. There has to be. Did you know that they found organisms in boiling magma? So why not this place? Experience tells me that life can bloom in the filthiest of places. So there's hope and promise that someday we'll come face to base with the thing that has haunted our imagination from time immemorial. The black hole of our being. The shadowy tunnel into the unknown. We'll see it. Feel it. I'm not going to read anymore. This is disgusting. You're losing your phone privileges. Well,
I think I've won.
It was inspired. I would also say, yeah, you've won. I mean, there are gross poems out there, but this is on, I think this is on a person's WordPress site.
Yeah, probably.
Moonwalker Wiz.
I just love the idea that like everything they were saying they also believe about the asshole. Like,
yeah,
it's mysterious and nobody knows
nobody knows
about
anything
it.
that's going on
You
in it.
couldn't even see it until recently.
You have to use an insane techniques to get a glimpse of it.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's what I have about space.
That's really wonderful. Thank you for that.
You're
Speaking
so
of
welcome.
the planet Mars,
Yeah.
I didn't really think about talking about this on here, but we just came up with a couple of good planets.
Oh yeah, we did.
When we were, I couldn't fall asleep the other night, so I was striking up one of my riveting conversations with you that I like to kind of, I have ideas that occur to me, you know.
As soon as I close my eyes,
it's the creatives hour. The creatives hour is right when your wife wants to go to bed.
Yeah.
So I asked you to design a planet. Do you want to? Could you describe for us your planet?
Yeah. Okay, let me see what I remember.
I remember quite a bit. I mean, it's a cotton candy gaseous planet.
Yeah. Oh yes, it is a gas giant, and I believe I made it mostly baby blue, but with kind of like pink, like clouds
And it
or
rains
gases.
something.
Yes. What does it rain?
Some like blue crystal of some sort. Or
It
rose quartz.
It rains rose quartz. Yes. See, you know so much. And it has rings too.
Yeah.
And I forget what I said the rings were made of.
I don't remember either. I remember the next night me realizing you were much sleepier than I thought you were, and I remembered a lot more of this conversation.
But there is one being on this planet. Mm-hmm. Should I introduce it like I introduced it to you?
No, I think let's just go straight at the throat of it, you know?
It's the worm that drives the bus.
That's not how you introduced it to me.
It's like, it's a worm that looks like he would drive a bus.
No. You introduced it just as the worm. And then I asked some questions about the worm, and you're like, he's like the worm that would drive the school bus.
Yeah.
Which I knew what you meant.
Yes.
You mean the worm that drives the apple in Richard Scarry's Busy Town.
Yeah.
But he's like the worm that would drive the school bus. So funny.
And he is alone, but he's not lonely.
Right. And what's the deal with his ex?
I don't remember.
There was something about like, yeah, he
I'm
left
so
her
sorry. I
behind,
don't remember so much of my planet.
It's okay.
It's funny too because
But he's green.
Yeah, he's green. And it's funny also because we had a follow-up conversation about it where I added the layer with the X on a different night, and I don't remember that either.
The X was on the first night.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the name of your planet? It was like
like it was like Morgon.
No, it was like
Morton.
Mortel or something like that. Or Morlet, maybe?
Morlet?
I think that could have been
it. Was Morlet.
With like TTE.
No E at the end.
Yeah.
It was Morlet.
And mine...
You might have a much clearer vision of yours.
Mine, yes. So mine is basically like Mars. It's red with a bunch of silver all over it. It's deep, has deep caverns that are inhabited by Conan O'Brien-like species who mine to bomb hot sauce using lightsabers to melt the spicy rocks and then ship them to Sean Evans to use on hot ones. And the lightsabers are always drawn, but they're so lanky and clumsy that there are lots of mining accidents. And the name of my planet is Everytown, USA.
Yeah. Your planet has an interesting naming convention as well.
Yes, everybody is named some version of Conan with a different first letter of the name based on your family. But they have 2,000 letters in their alphabet.
Oh, I don't think you told me that part.
I didn't tell you this.
Oh.
You just do not remember this conversation. So there are 2,000 letters in the alphabet, so it allows for a lot of diversity. And then if you're the second, they just add an extra N. So, but one person is born I think I said 1,000 years. Every millennia, a new member of the family is born. Right. So it's long stretches. So there aren't that many N's because this current civilization has, been around, in my mind, 10,000 at the most. They're kind of
10,000 at the most. Okay.
Human age sort of civilization.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You'd think that there'd be a lot of casualties because of the way they handle their lightsabers.
I mean, yeah, they go down.
Yeah, and then they just get one new one every...
Yeah, I mean, if they die... I guess it's a 1-to-1 reproduction.
Yeah.
The population would be constantly declining. Okay, I'll have to work on that.
The best thing about me not remembering this conversation is I get to learn about your planet again.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm going to move on.
Oh.
So I do have a poem about space. This is by Robert Frost.
Oh, okay.
And it's called But Outer Space. And to me, this, if you've read ahead, then you know this, but this sums up my feelings about space and space exploration and the excitement that's drummed up around space and the importance that's asserted to our exploration of space. So I'll go ahead and read it. But outer space, at least this far, for all the fuss of the populace, stays far more popular than populace.
Nice.
So basically here, there's nobody out there.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
And I think we've misplaced a lot of our attention and resources.
Yeah. I honestly agree. I kind of personally feel like space is none of our business.
Yeah.
And I don't think we need to know about it.
I do think that it is like, it should be viewed as the final frontier, like the last frontier. But space is the place that you look to once you've like optimized, you know, like it's like me like having no idea what our spare room even looks like, and then like going to try and like break into my neighbor's house to like
Get more space.
get more space.
Yeah.
Or see what I can get out of there.
Totally.
Like it's I feel like we're like literally like driving. It's like walking into the middle of the lake near you, hoping that there's like sugar there rather than checking your pantry.
Yeah, totally.
Is what we're doing with space. So I do think it's interesting. I think it's cool to have photos of it and understand and appreciate the universe that we're in. That's not what I'm saying, but in terms of like any idea of like gathering resources or like it as an escape from fixing the problems on Earth, and all of the money that's spent on it could much better be spent just given to like homeless people and people in poor countries. So,
absolutely. It's like literally we're nowhere near going up there to live, and there's so many problems here.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like on the global, like literally on the global scale, when people are like, I don't care about foreign policy, we've got our own problems. Like, I am kind of saying that with outer space.
Yeah. Totally. But Emily, this leaves a big issue. What to do for if you're a billionaire and you are miserable and bored and you have a ton of money, but you don't want to do anything good with it or helpful with it.
Right.
You know? You have to do something.
There are two options.
Yeah.
You go up to outer space. You go down into the ocean.
Exactly. The ocean is space on Earth.
Yeah.
That is vast swaths of it are completely unexplored. People are finding out new stuff about the ocean all the time.
Yeah.
It's also really scary. It's way easier to explore. And I think that it probably has a some value of like James Cameron. He's doing that. That's what he does. He's got all this money. He's got a curious mind, and he just goes down to the bottom of the ocean. He'll just make himself a submarine, go into the Mariana Trench, and just be like, crazy down here. What a crazy world
I thought
we have.
he only did that for Titanic.
No, he likes to do that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he just likes to do that. And so I would like to do a quick reading from Moby Dick. I'm going to read this highlighted segment here. I've got my own book, and I think this is a good lesson. Whenever I find myself growing grim about the mouth, whenever it is a damp, drizzly November in my soul, whenever I find myself involuntarily pausing before coffin warehouses and bringing up the rear of every funeral I meet, and especially whenever my hypos get such an upper hand of me that it requires a strong moral principle to prevent me from deliberately stepping into the street and methodically knocking off people's hats, then I count it high time to get to sea as soon as I can. This is my substitute for pistol and ball. With a philosophical flourish, Cato throws himself upon his sword. I quietly take to the ship. There is nothing surprising in this. If they but knew it, almost all men in their degree, sometime or other, cherish very nearly the same feeling towards the ocean with me. And Ishmael hasn't said something wrong yet.
No. This is the first page of the book. And
it's the first paragraph of the book.
This is when I realized it was going to be a fun book.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Whenever I want to kill myself.
Yeah, I just go on a boat
I just go I take to the sea.
Yeah,
he
like
spends
all men.
The next several pages saying all of the virtues and the natural inclination of men toward the sea.
Yeah.
And take a note from him. If you're miserable in your life and you have the resources, you can just go to the ocean.
Men would literally rather go on a whaling voyage than go to therapy.
That's true. Although he does mention in this that he has basically no money. So he goes to the ocean because it's also work.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a quick, in and out on space there.
Yeah.
I think that hopefully that's as much exploration as I think space needs.
Honestly, we can call it there.
We can call it there. And we'll be back to, explore other areas of our world. Mm-hmm. I would love to do a nautical episode.
That would be fun.
I would love to do a nautical issue. That's something I'm kicking around.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got our 2026 themes kind of being schemed out in my brain right now. So
they're hatching.
Space won't be one, but
no.
the water might be,
yeah.
the seas.
You know, I kind of wonder how much of that first poem that I had could also be applied to the ocean. Probably.
Can we go back and look real quick?
The first chunk. until it gets to the planets. Oh, I forgot this one's on my phone.
It's
and
so
I lost
tiny.
phone privileges. It's empty, but it's full. Mm-hmm. It's dark, but it's bright.
No.
What do you mean?
The ocean's dark.
When you go deep, but at the surface, there's a whole layer where the sun comes through.
Okay.
It's deadly, and
Yeah.
it is safe.
It's not safe. None of this is safe. Your house is like the only safe place.
I don't know.
Not your school,
I
not
think
your
the
church, not your
ocean-
library.
I think the ocean is safer than space.
The ocean, you're safe from me,
Yeah.
but
Toes in the ocean, you're safe. Anything more, it's dangerous. It is ugly, and it is pretty.
it can be gross on the beach if the beach is not well kept.
Right.
But overall, I don't think the ocean is ugly.
I also don't think it's ugly. I think Jack's Beach can be ugly sometimes,
Yeah,
but then you just go to a different beach.
that's very true. And that's the beach.
All in one in all.
Okay. I mean, yeah, kind of, because the oceans are all connected.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
7 seas. Okay. Its beauty speckles its body.
Yeah, that's
Through-
true.
Throughout there are many dangers,
Yes.
which one must be aware and stay away from strangers. I think that's even more true in the ocean.
Yeah,
than it is
definitely,
in outer
because
space.
we don't know that much about aliens, and it's probably way less likely you'll run into them than like a
Yeah.
shark or something.
Exactly. And don't stray from your holy lair. Though
boat.
if you fail to follow, death might come soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Why
right?
not?
Yeah.
We don't even know what he's saying.
Well, if you stray from your, I think he's saying like don't like leave your ship, like your containment. And in this, it's the same as the boat.
It's the boat
Yeah.
or the inner tube you're in. But explore the world with all your strength, its wondrous lands, and its beautiful space. You know, using space just as a regular word here, technically, this still works.
Yeah, definitely.
The many planets and stars, all moving about close and far.
You do use the planets and stars for nautical navigation.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah, now the North Star is right there. It's bright in the sky.
The giant heat within a star can vaporize any who come hither.
Okay.
This is where we get to the
Yeah.
really specific stuff. And I think from there it does.
But it pretty much mostly works. They're very similar. It kind of goes back to pretty much like my point about like we've got a space here on Earth.
Yeah, we
It's
do.
just the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got freaky looking things in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So get out there, get on a boat, take a whaling voyage, take a few years of your
Yeah.
life, call it a gap years.
Find a billionaire to date that can send you either up or down in a very flimsy receptacle.
Yeah.
And just see what happens.
I want a pop star to go into the Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or something like that. Yeah.
They should send Marina.
That would make sense, although I don't know who that is, unfortunately.
Okay.
Katy Perry should just do that too. Make this her new
Honestly,
thing.
yeah. That should be. That would be impressive. If she did both, I would maybe be impressed.
And at least when all those billionaires went underwater.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right.
Later.